Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Maureen, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my pattern review for KnowMe2057, which is this pattern right here by Alissah Threads. It is the quilted jacket pattern. So let's get into this pattern. I recently made it last week and I actually used a thrifted comforter. More on that later. So I actually cut out a size 12 on this pattern, which is very atypical of simplicity or big 5 patterns, period. So let's talk about like the easing. So with a size 12, I had about 6 inches of ease because it gave me 48 inches around my bust area. And so a size 4 will technically give you 43.5 inches around your bust. So technically I could have cut out a size 4 if I really wanted to, but I wanted to leave it roomy. Now, one thing I will say is that I did watch Alissah's stories when she talked about this pattern on Instagram, and she said that she intentionally wanted a lot of ease in this pattern, and she intentionally wanted that oversized look. And so, like I said, I cut out a size 12. Again, very atypical. So I don't know if you can see it, but I'm going to hold up the envelope anyway. So you see the size 4 up here at the top of the screen, 43.5 inches for the finished garment measurements. And then the size goes up tremendously. And then as far as the suggested fabrics, they do have corduroy, cotton blends, denim, flannel, linen blends, micro suede, pre-quilted fabric, tweed, and wool blends. And then for your lining, it's cotton blends and polyester blends. So they say pre-quilted fabric, but they don't outright say this has to be a quilted jacket. So Alissah, I know she actually did quilt squares for hers. I used a thrifted comforter. And so the comforter I got was actually from the Goodwill. It was a burnt orange color. And it wasn't very hard to work with, but I will say that if you're going to use your serger, like you see mine back there, it's probably best to do single layers. And I would probably recommend that for pre-quilted fabric since it's kind of like the same consistency. Okay, so this pattern does come with 2 patch pockets at the top and then welt pockets on the bottom. And then you have a zipper front for both views. And then you have the collar stand, or you can do a hood. To be very honest with you, I did not think I had enough fabric or enough material to do the hooded version. So surprise, surprise. When I saw that I was able to cut the hood, and I was really, really glad for it. So the zipper, honestly, you do need a separating zipper, like no doubt about it. So the pattern says you need a 25-inch jacket zipper. That is true. I actually got away with a 24.5, or it was like 23.5, basically round up 24-inch separating zipper. And I found it on Amazon. I actually had to buy like a set of 15 or 16 in order to get the exact color I wanted. I know, so crazy, but whatever. And then I actually modified the front of my jacket. So instead of putting, as you can see the line drawings here, instead of putting the patch pockets on the breast area, I actually put them lower towards my abdomen area. And I actually omitted the welt pockets. So it made the jacket go by a little bit quicker. But I will say, don't ignore the pockets. Your jacket definitely needs pockets. I don't know if you can do the actual side insert pockets because it's got a curved hem, and so your pocket bag will probably hang below the hem if you do that, which is why I actually didn't do the side pockets. All in all, this jacket came together very quickly. It does not have an actual jacket lining, but I think this works to its benefit. So it has more so a facing. Let me show you. So you see here where the facing is just kind of there, and I probably could have stitched this down, but I really didn't want to complicate the lines on the squares of my comforter jacket, and so I just pretty much kind of left it like that. But I did stitch in the ditch on the shoulder seams right here to make sure that it would lay down a little bit better. But there is just a facing, and then you have a facing on the bottom as well. The lining or facing fabric that I use is actually from Hobby Lobby. I had it in my stash. I was going to use it for something else, and I looked at it and I was like, I think this will go well with my jacket. Going back to why I think it's okay that this jacket doesn't have a lining. If you use pre-quilted fabric or a comforter or something that's really heavy, like what I did, you're going to be warm. Like, I put this on and I literally felt like I was wearing a blanket, but in a good way. So I'm okay with it not having a facing. However, if you're looking for something that has a full facing, maybe you live in a colder area than I do, or maybe you just like the look of a facing altogether, it's very, very doable to do a facing. You pretty much, what I would recommend is do the mirror images for the front panel, the sleeves, the back, and the yoke, and then keep it consistent with the hood lining and things like that. So it is actually very easy to do the lining. Okay, so I have a couple of things that so one, let's start off. Would I make this again? Absolutely, yes. So when I first saw it, I thought it was adorable. I really liked it. I would totally, hands down, do this again, especially if I get my hands on more quilting or more comforter fabric. Or heck, if I were to go to the store and see a really nice comforter, I could do that too. But yes, 1000%, I do see myself making this again. Maybe not with the hood, but maybe just with like the collar stand. And I think that if I were to make it again, I would consider a few things. I think depending on the weight of my outer fabric, I would consider doing a full lining. And if I decided that I did not want to do a full lining, I would actually consider doing like a bias binding on the bottoms and stuff like that. And I think that in a lot of ways, this is a really good challenge to do actual like quilt work and do a jacket like this with a quilt. So if the time permits, I could see myself doing like a full-on quilted jacket, like from my own scraps. Like, there's something really cool about that. Like, quilting isn't something, like, I don't quilt all the time. I don't quilt at all, really, but I have quilted in the past. I have made quilts in the past. I've made quilts for friends. I've made a quilt for Joe. I've made a quilt for myself. I've made several quilts for myself. So it's not something I would totally rule out. And it's not something that I don't know how to do. So I think in the future, if I wanted to go longer and make it more, I would say, more abstract and more unique, I can definitely see myself doing like a 100% full-on quilted jacket. This is the pattern to do it. As you know, there is a sew along for this that she does on YouTube already. This pattern is rated as average. I agree with that. I think that if you're new to sewing, some things you may learn are obviously how to do facings, how to sew a hood, how to add a zipper, a separating zipper, which, by the way, I think separating zippers are a lot easier to do than an invisible zipper. Even though, and I think this is just like my nerves and just, everything going on. I had trouble personally with the zipper, but I think it was just a culmination of things, right? Zippers can be hit or miss. I think even the best sewists can have issues with a zipper. I really do. So I say all that to say, like, don't let that intimidate you with this. And plus, another thing you can do if you're feeling, like challenging yourself even more, because it's oversized, you probably can get away with adding snaps to the front versus doing a zipper. Just saying. Yeah, so. All right, you guys, that's it for today. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And if you're not following me already, you can follow me at Raven Maureen on TikTok, Threads, and Instagram. I'll see you next time. Bye.